Edition News at 10 with Ann Gownley. Sports with Beth Mensinger. And meteorologist Joe Garbacik.
The opening of a shooting range in Hazel Township will soon become a reality, and it's our top story tonight. Good evening. This is WYLN's Late Edition for Tuesday, January 7th, 2014. I'm Ann Gownley. By approval of the Hazel Township Zoning Board, a shooting range will open in Hazel Township pending appeals. Paragon Indoor Shooting Range will soon be coming to Hazel Township right off of Route 93 after approval this evening from the Hazel Township Zoning Board. Dan Basala and other men have been working on this business for quite some time. Basala says it's a safe and controlled environment inside steel and concrete walls, something he says bullets cannot penetrate. Tonight he provided Zoning Board members and residents with information and video demonstrations to prove his case that it is a safe environment. Even with the video, many residents, including members of the Hazelton Area School District, had concerns over the safety of having a gun training range in the township.
We answered a lot of them, and like I said, guns are everywhere, like they said, and we're trying to enforce people to take a training course and to learn how to shoot a gun properly, because we know they're everywhere, so this would be an awesome facility for not only the township, but for the borough of West Hazelton, for the businesses, and I believe for the residents, because there's a lot of females, and we hold female classes to learn how to shoot firearms.
This particular meeting was postponed back in December due to a typo in the letters that were to be sent out to those who live in the area. Although Basala says it's in the middle of nowhere, West Hazelton Elementary Middle School, a baseball field, and churches are in the area, but adds that there is no need to worry. Hazelton Area School Board Solicitor Attorney Chris Slusser was at tonight's meeting to talk about the concerns that many of the board members had.
Our concerns are very clearly because the facility is located within 900 feet of our elementary middle school at West Hazelton. So the board asked me to attend the meeting tonight to gather information and present those concerns to the board. I still think we have some questions to be answered. Our primary concern is the safety of our students and our staff in the West Hazelton Elementary Middle School. I'm just not convinced that this is the best location for this facility.
All employees at the shooting range will be NRA certified, and most do have a history in law enforcement.
A lot of people have concern about the school, like I said, but it shouldn't be in concern because people are coming to our range to fire a gun. So they're competent of people to do that. Plus the school just hired 16 officers that are carrying guns that they can use our facility for a training facility.
Attorney Slusser says after tonight's approval, he will take the information back to the school board and allow them to decide whether or not they will file an appeal. Pending any appeals, Basala says they hope to open the shooting range by April of this year. Well, an apartment building in Butler Township was raided once again for a drug investigation. Local police and special operations teams were on scene this morning at 417 South Hunter Highway. The investigation began in August of 2013 when officers observed frequent visitors at the residence. Police charged 25-year-old Ryan C. Stemko of drums with 4 counts of a delivery of a controlled substance, 4 counts of possession of a controlled substance, and 2 counts of criminal use of a communication facility. A Butler Township code officer was called in to condemn the home. 2 other residents of the building were forced out due to the building being condemned. One of them, a 92-year-old woman who was transported to Lehigh Valley, Hazelton. Police are working with county officials to move the elderly woman from the home. Stemko was arraigned by District Judge Jamie Dixon, and his bail was set at $75,000. Stemko was transported to Luzerne County Prison, unable to post bail. The Attorney General's office, along with officers from the Hazelton Police Narcotics Unit, assisted Butler Township Police. Fire tore through a double home in Shenandoah this morning as temperatures dropped below zero. It was a bitter cold morning with a wind chill of nearly 20 degrees below zero as firefighters from Shenandoah, Frackville, and Mahanoy City were called to the 200 block of South Ferguson Street in Shenandoah around 7:30 this morning for a home fire.
When we arrived on scene, the first arriving unit, that's the apparatus I was driving, we pulled in to find a fully involved house fire, half a double, which ultimately consumed the other half a double. One of the structures was occupied, the other structure was an unoccupied structure. When we arrived, we got reports that there was possibly somebody inside the building, which soon after was confirmed that the occupant was accounted for and there was nobody inside the building.
In his nearly 9 years of being a firefighter, Reynes says this is the coldest temperatures he's fought a fire in that he can remember. At 10:30 this morning, firefighters were still putting out the flames, all while most of them were covered in ice. Reynes says upon arrival to a fire in these sub-zero temperatures, everything must be kept in check so it doesn't freeze.
The extreme cold temperatures, I was on my way home from work this morning. The temperature in my truck was -7. With the wind chill factor, -23, I believe. Any type of cold temperature like this, you have to worry about the pump freezing, the hose lines freezing, the hydrants freezing. The manpower-wise, you got to keep rotating them in and out to keep the guys warm. Their gear freezing up and everything like that.
A rehab shelter was placed at the scene to provide them with the necessary items to keep emergency responders safe.
We get called to large-scale incidents such as this. What we do is provide nourishment, rehab for firefighters, any other emergency responders, assess vital signs, make sure these guys are in a good shape to go back out and get their job done.
There were no injuries reported in this morning's fire. The cause is still under investigation. A Hanover area teacher was charged with 2 counts of institutional sexual assault. 33-year-old Edward Evans turned himself in today at Judge Joseph Halisade's office. He was released on $20,000 unsecured bail. An 18-year-old male student claims that Evans had given him guidance at the school. They exchanged numbers and Evans picked him up on March 10th, where they then went to Evans' house. They talked about information on HIV and STDs. The student then claims that Evans made sexual advances towards him. A preliminary hearing is set for January 22nd. U.S. District Judge A. Richard Caputo ruled that former State Senator Ray Musto is not mentally competent to stand trial. Musto's trial was scheduled to start in federal court in Wilkes-Barre on Monday. A competency hearing was held yesterday where doctors testified on his worsening medical condition. Caputo ordered Musto into the custody of the U.S. Attorney General's office to take him to a treatment facility. He will remain there for up to 4 months and be further evaluated to see if he regains the capacity to stand trial. Judge Caputo denied the motion on Musto's physical health, but granted his motion in regards to his mental health. A Hazleton man has taken on the role as chairman for Luzerne County Council. Luzerne County Council held its swearing-in and reorganizational meeting last night at the county courthouse. Newcomers Eileen Sorokas, Kathy Dobash, and re-elected incumbents Harry Haas, Linda McCloskey-Hauk, and Rick Williams were sworn in by President Judge Thomas Burke. Luzerne County Councilman and Hazleton native Rick Morelli was chosen by his peers to lead County Council as its chairman.
I took on this role because I have a lot of things that I feel we need to do and that we haven't been doing on the council level. So it's exciting, but a lot of work. As you know, the government's new, the new form of government. We're only 2 years in. But as I said last night, the honeymoon's over, and we really need to start showing the people that this new government's doing things. And so I'm taking on this role to really be more proactive and get more of the council members to be more proactive.
Morelli will be replacing Councilman Tim McGinley as chairman. The vote to elect Morelli was 6-5. Ed Berminski was selected as vice chair, also by a vote of 6-5.
Ed has a lot of experience with the government before as a commissioner and now on council. And again, we're on the same page. You know, no one's always going to agree on everything, but I think that if you have a lot of people, if you have the same vision and the same philosophy of how to handle things, I think the one key thing that we both are in favor of is more accountability. I think that the executive branch had too much leeway to do what they want without answering to council. We're the watchdogs, and I think that the executive branch now is going to be having to answer more, get more information out to us, get out to the public so they know what's happening.
Morelli says there will definitely be changes this year, starting with how the meetings are ran.
Well, the goals are to make our meetings more efficient, to get more information out to the public, to council, so we're more prepared. And again, the long-term goals are really to really try to get some more economic development in Luzerne County. Like I said, it's not just now getting the government on the right track, but now getting the county in a place from a financial standpoint and more growth and getting those things done, and so that the people could see that this new government is what it's supposed to be.
With more transparency, Morelli says there will also be a new meeting structure.
We're going to have meetings every Tuesday. They're going to be more structured from a committee to a work session on the third Tuesday, and then the fourth Tuesday will be a voting meeting. So it's going to be a structured way where there's going to be a place where ideas will start and a place where ideas will finish. And I think it's just going to make it a lot more easier and better for everyone.
County Council will hold its next meeting Tuesday, January 14th at the Luzerne County Courthouse. A Wyoming man who suffered a gunshot wound from an accidental shooting has been charged with a drug offense. 31-year-old LaShawn Bergman drove himself to a hospital in New Jersey after the shooting at Sherman Hills apartment complex in Wilkes-Barre. City police received a call from Newark, New Jersey police on December 27th regarding Bergman. A search warrant was obtained for the apartment where illegal drugs were found. Bergman was charged with possession with intent to deliver. He was arraigned by Judge Martin Kane and jailed at Luzerne County Prison for lack of $20,000 bail. Suspended Gilberton Chief of Police Mark Kessler is suing the borough. He is seeking to prevent a hearing from being held January 24th in Scranton. He is asking the court to issue an injunction barring the borough from holding the hearing at the Lackawanna Courthouse. The lawsuit alleges that the borough should not be allowed to hold the hearing in Lackawanna County because all the events have occurred in Schuylkill County. Kessler also states that he would have to pay extra legal expenses for the travel time and that holding the hearing in another county would be prejudice against him. The hearing on the petition has not been scheduled. A hearing is underway for former Penn State assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky. Sandusky appeared via video link today as testimony began. He is currently incarcerated at the prison in southwestern Pennsylvania. He described his career at Penn State and is trying to get back the retirement benefits he lost after his conviction. The state employees' retirement system ruled that his convictions fell under Pennsylvania's Public Employee Pension Forfeiture Act. His attorney, Charles Benjamin, argued that Sandusky did not fit the definition of a school employee under the forfeiture law. It may take months before the hearing examiner produces his recommendation to the Retirement System Board. A Wyoming teen was reported missing on December 2nd. 17-year-old Jessica Briggs has not been seen by her legal guardian, Cheryl Wanzi, in over a month. Wanzi fears that Briggs has been kidnapped by family members. Briggs is a special needs child and receives monthly supplemental security income. Wanzi said that the family that she suspects did the kidnapping was after the money to support a drug habit. Wyoming police are treating the case as a missing persons. The investigation is still ongoing. Anyone with information is asked to call the Wyoming police at 570-693-2650. Over the Christmas holiday, a West Hazelton police officer responded to the scene of an incident in the borough. Upon entering the home, she learned that the mother and her 2 young children did not have heat, furniture, and was not going to have a Christmas. So with the help of the borough officials, firefighters, and the rest of the police department, they purchased gifts and made Christmas a reality. Now that Christmas is over, borough residents are continuing to help out the family into the new year.
We had furniture given to us from people in Drifton and Freeland and up the Heights, up to Stockton Mountain. We filled the house up with furniture. People donated fuel for the people, so they filled their tanks with fuel. We bought them a lot of food. People donated money, so we went out and bought them food. So they're pretty well set now. They have heat, they have food, they have furniture.
Mayor Schmidt says there are too many people to name that reached out to help, and along with the family, they are all thankful to everyone for their support. One state senator laid out his goals for 2014. Our Gary Perna has more.
State Senator John Udicek is looking forward to a positive 2014. Recently, the senator stopped by our WILN studios and spoke with us about his goals for the new year. Udicek said he is looking to continue the fight against gangs and crime in this area.
Operation Gang Up produced Pennsylvania's first anti-gang law. It produced the mobile street crime unit that Attorney General Kathleen Kane has championed. That was part of last year's budget, and a new child predator unit, a $4 million operation through the Attorney General's office. We put 400 more troopers on the street as a result of last year's budget. So we're trying to tackle the crime, but I think the most important thing that we can do is engage the community, get the community engaged in this process. You have tremendous efforts being made here by Chief DeAndre in Hazelton and the Crime Watch groups here in Hazelton. We need to continue to work as a community to tackle this very very serious community problem.
Udicek believes that bringing an after-school program to the area will keep young teens off the streets.
One of the issues that, we've put a new anti-gang law in the books. We've put more police officers on the street. We got a new mobile street crime unit, and that's about getting tougher on crime. But I think we also have to recognize that we have to go to the other side. And the other side is making sure we have after-school programs for our children, particularly our juveniles between the ages of 10 and 15. And we have a tremendous program in Carbon and Schuylkill County, the SHINE program, run by Jeannie Miller. We're trying to replicate that after-school program here in Luzerne County. 11 school districts. There's no after-school program quite like the SHINE program in Carbon County. We'd like to replicate that here so that we can give our children a positive pathway in life. Keep them off of the streets, keep them out of the hands of the gangs and the drug dealers, and give them a positive chance and opportunity at life.
The senator said he is now working with Congressman Matt Cartwright to combat crime in the Wilkes-Barre area, like he is doing currently with Congressman Lou Barletta.
At Operation Gang Up, which started back in 2011 with Congressman Barletta, we wanted to focus that crime is a regional problem. It's the 80-81 corridor. It's not the city of Wilkes-Barre. It's not just the city of Hazleton. It really is a regional issue, and so I'm glad to be working now with Congressman Cartwright, working on the housing side of it. Sherman Hills, unfortunately, in the news quite a bit these days in terms of the violent crime, the drug trafficking, the gang violence that's happening at that facility. We put together a task force, and now we're trying to address that issue, not just at Sherman Hills, but across the board in terms of housing, subsidized housing in Luzerne County.
Udicek said there is a lot of work to be done to keep gangs off of our streets. Reporting for WILN's Late Edition, I'm Gary Perna.
Thank you, Gary. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Time now to check in with Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbochik in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center. Joe, I hope these temperatures start rising soon, but is it a possibility?
You hope those temperatures are going to be rising pretty soon. How about the guy out here doing the weather where it's downright cold, feeling like temperatures are anywhere between minus 10, 15, minus 20, minus 25 below zero with the wind. It is just downright awful out here, I might add. Hence, I wear the hat. Most of your body is, the heat is left through the hat, through the head regions. That's why you always got to wear the hat and, of course, the gloves. Well, talk about how cold it is across our area. Boy, look at these wind chill factors. Just unbearable. Minus 10, minus 15, minus 20, minus 25 below zero. Yeah, that's some serious Arctic cold air. We have that to deal with tonight. I'll let you know, though, there's a nice warm-up in the forecast, which you're going to like, I think. I'm heading in to get warm. We'll go to break. We'll have the coming up.
They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Here at Classic Floor Covering, we take pride in all our works of art. Take a look at a few. Classic Floor Covering. Who do you trust for your floor covering needs?
You work hard at fundraising events for your organization. What better way to raise awareness to your cause than to wear a custom embroidered or screen printed shirt from CTC Apparel Plus. CTC makes it easy to create t-shirts that get your message out. Not only do we have packages at different levels that are affordable, but the t-shirts will be name brand, stylish, and comfortable. All it takes is a minimum of 25 shirts to start promoting. There are no setup fees or deposits required. Call CTC today at 570-454-3754.
Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. This week at Heritage, Farmer's Dairy iced tea gallons, only $1.88.
Now Hazel Park Spring Water is proud to announce that they are the official water of the WILN Sports Crew and available for home delivery through J.W. Wargo Spring Water Delivery and JoJo's Beverage. Since 1915, the Kreisel family has been serving the area with quality meats. The tradition continues today with 5 generations at Hazel Park Quality Meats, 260 Washington Avenue, West Hazelton, and Redding Specialty Meats, located at 216 East 4th Street in Berwick. Here are some of this week's specials.
On the way to retirement, some people realize that work isn't really a bad thing. Some may want to start their own business one day. Our financial advisors will look at your complete financial picture, no matter where your money's invested, to create a plan designed to help you get to and through retirement. When you need a financial advisor fully invested in you, turn to us, Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
WYLN, your first choice for locally produced shows like Chef Lou, Jentastic Sweets, Off the Beaten Path, The Storm, and more. Find out how you can stretch your advertising dollars and be a part of the WYLN TV lineup. Call 570-459-1869, extension 1302. WYLN, we're your local network.
Well, as I showed you, these numbers just intolerable across our area. Now, last night they were even a little bit colder than what we're seeing right now, but still just downright bitterly cold. Just, I don't even know what words to explain this type of weather. It's not very good weather across northeastern and central Pennsylvania. But one thing is, with these numbers, again, so low, I can guarantee you again that I think most schools, if not all schools, will have at least a delay tomorrow morning. I think there's a good shot of actually having school, because as we go through the mid to late morning hours, those numbers are going to rise a little bit. But don't be surprised if there's some schools that actually will have off again tomorrow. But nevertheless, I think most, if not all, will have at least a delay, because you're going to be looking at numbers like this early in the morning, and you don't want anybody out there in this dangerously cold weather, because that's never a good thing for any of us. Now, speaking of the cold weather, like I said, we're going to continue to have that through tonight, and as we head into the daytime hours of tomorrow, we do have those wind chill warnings in effect for all of our viewing area. Again, right through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. We even have those wind chill advisories in effect for Sullivan, Lycoming, Columbia, and Schuylkill counties. Those also are in effect as we head through tonight and as we head into early tomorrow morning. Live 35 Skycast Doppler. Well, we got nothing to show you right now. It's fairly quiet, but it's cold. How about 2 for being cold? And how about feeling like it's minus 29 for being even colder? Sure, that's what we have to contend with, and that's what we'll have to deal with through the overnight hours. Minus 4 in Wilkes-Barre. These are the low temperatures over the past 24 hours. How about getting down to minus 8 in Mount Pocono? Selinsgrove down to minus 4, got down to minus 5 in Williamsport, and getting down to minus 14 degrees in Johnstown. How about minus 15 in Bradford? Didn't warm up a whole lot either. Generally single digits and teens, but those were 24-hour high temperatures. Look at these numbers right now. Below 0 in New Angola, it's minus 1. 3 degrees in Berwick, 3 in Monomoy City, 4 in Berwick, 3 degrees in Danville. Satellite and radar. You could see some snow as you head toward north of Syracuse. The rest of us, though, not looking too bad, except those dangerously cold wind chill factors. That will be the factor through tonight. Really not expecting any storm systems as we head through tonight and as we head into the daytime hours of tomorrow. Now, as we go into maybe early Thursday morning, maybe a few snow showers or flurries, but that's about it. But look at how low these numbers go again tonight. Minus 10, 15, minus 20, or minus 25 below 0. And early tomorrow morning, going to be very, very cold out there. And then we start to get a little bit milder air in as we go into our Thursday morning, but still, you just have to dress in layers, and you really got to be careful if you're out there. Not quite as harsh for tomorrow, but still quite cold. Minus 10, minus 15, minus 20 below is what it's going to be feeling like tonight. That polar vortex still in place, giving us that Arctic blast of cold air. And again, tomorrow, a little bit nicer temperature-wise, teens and lower 20s. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric. 15 for tomorrow, 22 for Thursday. Friday, 32 and dry, and then maybe some rain around for Saturday in the 40s. 40s for Sunday and Monday, and in 30s as we head into Tuesday. Evening Pennsylvania lottery numbers, a daily 667, the big 4, 9006. Quinto numbers looking like this: 99605 and the cash 5, 9, 13, 30, 34, and 43. More late edition coming up after these commercial messages.
The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazleton, serving the greater Hazleton area since 1890 and still family owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341.
Edgewood in the Pines, located in Drums, provides the perfect scenery in any season to complement your wedding or special event. From the spectacular colors of fall, a cozy winter setting, or the plush greens of summer, Edgewood will provide a breathtaking setting for your exceptional affair. Edgewood is perfect for weddings, birthday celebrations, showers, baptism, or any special event. From small intimate gatherings to breathtaking formal affairs, your event is certain to be an amazing experience to remember for years to come. Celebrate at Edgewood in the Pines.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
Attention, the diabetes drug Actos has been linked to bladder cancer.
If you've taken the diabetes drug Actos and now have bladder cancer, call the Goldwater Law Firm right now.
If you or a loved one took this drug and were injured, call us right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
If you or a loved one took Actos and were then diagnosed with bladder cancer,
call the Goldwater Law Firm at 800-414-3700. That's 800-414-3700.
Enjoy the great outdoors at the Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range's Trap, Skeet, and Sporting Clays course. No waiting and no lines. First time shooting? Whitetail Preserve employs certified instructors to help you get the most out of your experience. Hungry? The restaurant at Whitetail has a great menu to satisfy and offers catering for all occasions. Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, approximately 13 miles west of Hazleton and just 1 hour from Allentown, Reading, and the Delaware Water Gap. 118 Boulevard Road, just off the Rockland Road, near Rockland. 384-2314.
Join us this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Tim's going to tell you about his best weight loss program. He's going to give you the first 4 steps on your journey to wellness this week. Join us.
As the bone-chilling winter weather Joe Garbacha keeps talking about continues tonight, so do the number of high school sports postponements. We do have a bunch of rescheduled dates for the games that were supposed to happen today. You can check them all out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/WYLN Press Box. We do have one score in, though, of a game that was played. Those kids bared down with the conditions, and that game was tonight in Freeland. Joe Flanagan's MMI Preppers hosted Wyoming Seminary, and they got the home court victory on this chilly night, 61-45. Corey Rogers really lit it up, though. He led the Preppers with 19 points. Ed Herbner tossed in 17. Today, the 2013 Anthracite Football League All-Star Team was announced, and we begin with the Offensive Player of the Year in Jim Thorpe's Ryan Saunders. Saunders ran for over 1,500 yards, passed for over 1,000, and scored 17 touchdowns, leading his Jim Thorpe Olympians to the Anthracite Football League Championship. Lucas Damien of Marion was named the Defensive Player of the Year. With the Colts, Damien had 163 tackles, getting 20 during 4 different games. The first team on offense included fullback Marks Marcanic from North Schuylkill, running back Tyler Hope of Tamaqua area, Wide receivers Glenn Wiest from the Spartans and Angelo Mascornick of Shenandoah Valley. The linemen on the first team included Michael Rogers of Jim Thorpe, Mahanoy Area's Tyler Kavanis, and Nate Gadinsky of North Schuylkill. Checking out the 2013 Anthracite League's first team defense, defensive end Richie Nas from Panther Valley made the cut. On the D-line, it was Kavanis again, along with the Colts' Stephen Hall. Tom Gallagher from North Schuylkill and both Mike Mladic and Kevin Vitti of Jim Thorpe were named linebackers. Kyle Ferryman from Panther Valley was picked as a defensive back, along with Dylan Maymont from Monoy and Ryan Carroll from Jim Thorpe. Head coach Mark Rosenberger of Jim Thorpe was named the Coach of the Year for the AFL. You can check out the full 2013 Anthracite League All-Star team. There's also the first team, or the second team defense and the second team offense. You could check those out on our Facebook page, Pressbox, WYLM Pressbox. Let's start that again. www.facebook.com/WYLN Pressbox. Nailed it. With Bill O'Brien departing from the Nittany Lions just a week ago, the search continues for a head coach, and sources are saying a local guy may be the front runner, and it's not the former Titans head coach and Scranton native Mike Munchak. James Franklin was a star quarterback at East Stroudsburg University, and after graduating in '95, he coached a bit under legend Denny Dowds. At the moment, he is the head coach of a Vanderbilt program he completely turned around, leading them to 3 consecutive bowl appearances. Penn State Athletic Director Dave Joyner says he expects to fill the open spot very soon. Also, a number of assistants under Bill O'Brien in Happy Valley resigned today from the program to join the Houston Texans team. Actually, they resigned yesterday. They include defensive coordinator John Butler, wide receiver coach Stan Hickson, running backs coach Charles London, and safeties coach Anthony Midget. Also handing in their resignation papers, strength and conditioning coach Craig Fitzgerald, who coined the squad's Iron Lion mantra, and 2 assistants under him. So who is left? Interim head coach Larry Johnson, the only remaining coach from the Joe Paterno era, who leads the defensive line, the offensive line coach Mac McWhorter, and tight end coach John Strollo. A lot of names there to go through. One former Olympian announced she will not be heading to Sochi for the next month's Winter Olympics. I'll have that and more coming up in a few minutes, and Gownley is coming back next. All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
What? Floor samples, closeouts, every clearance item up to 50% off. Woohoo! It's Grand Central's huge 50% off clearance, now through Monday. Genuine savings on floor sample markdowns. Every item in our entire store up to 50% off. Yep, furniture, mattresses, appliances, and TVs. Tons of the good stuff. 50% off, now through Monday. Express delivery, plus up to 50% off. As always, buy local, spend less. Grand Central Hazleton.
Things move a little slower here in DSLville.
Slow pitch softball is big here. Really big.
There's not a fast food restaurant in town. Zero.
Get the most out of the internet. Get Service Electric high-speed internet. Call Service Electric today to sign up.
Ho, 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 ho. Slow down. Tourists.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the children's programming report is on file for public inspection at WYLN, 1057 East 10th Street, Hazleton, PA, during normal business hours, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.
By approval of the Hazel Township Zoning Board, a shooting range will open in Hazel Township pending appeals. The Paragon Indoor Shooting Range will soon be coming to Hazel Township right off of Route 93 after approval this evening from the Hazel Township Zoning Board. Dan Basala and other men have been working on this business for quite some time. Basala says it's a safe and controlled environment inside steel and concrete walls, something he says bullets cannot penetrate. Tonight, he provided zoning board members and residents with information and video demonstrations to prove his case that it is a safe environment. Even with the video, many residents, including members of the Hazelton Area School District, had concerns over the safety of having a gun training range in the township.
We answered a lot of them, and like I said, guns are everywhere, like they said, and we're trying to enforce people to take a training course and to learn how to shoot a gun properly, because we know they're everywhere, so this would be an awesome facility for not only the township, but for the borough of West Hazelton, for the businesses, and I believe for the residents, because there's a lot of females, and we hold female classes to learn how to shoot firearms.
This particular meeting was postponed back in December due to a typo in the letters that were to be sent out to those who live in the area. Although Basala says it's in the middle of nowhere, West Hazelton Elementary Middle School, a baseball field, and churches are in the area, but adds that there is no need to worry. Hazelton Area School Board Solicitor Attorney Chris Slusser was at tonight's meeting to talk about the concerns that many of the board members had.
Our concerns are very clearly because the facility is located within 900 feet of our elementary middle school at West Hazelton. So the board asked me to attend the meeting tonight to gather information and present those concerns to the board. I still think we have some questions to be answered. Our primary concern is the safety of our students and our staff in the West Hazelton Elementary Middle School. I'm just not convinced that this is the best location for this facility.
All employees at the shooting range will be NRA certified, and most do have a history in law enforcement.
A lot of people have concern about the school, like I said, but it shouldn't be in concern because people are coming to our range to fire a gun. So they're competent of people to do that. Plus the school just hired 16 officers that are carrying guns that they can use our facility for a training facility.
Attorney Slusser says after tonight's approval, he will take the information back to the school board and allow them to decide whether or not they will file an appeal. Pending any appeals, Basala says they hope to open the shooting range by April of this year. An apartment building in Butler Township was raided once again for a drug investigation. Local police and special operations teams were on scene this morning. 17 South Hunter Highway. The investigation began in August of 2013 when officers observed frequent visitors at the residence. Police charged 25-year-old Ryan C. Stemko of Drums with 4 counts of a delivery of controlled substance, 4 counts of possession of a controlled substance, and 2 counts of criminal use of a communication facility. A Butler Township code officer was called in to condemn the home. 2 other residents of the building were forced out due to the building being condemned. One of them, a 92-year-old woman who was transported to Lehigh Valley, Hazelton. Police are working with county officials to move the elderly woman from the home. Stemko was arraigned by District Judge James Dixon. His bail was set at $75,000. Stemko was transported to the Luzerne County Prison, unable to post bail. The Attorney General's office, along with officers from the Hazelton Police Narcotics Unit, assisted Butler Township Police. Fire tore through a double home in Shenandoah this morning as temperatures dropped below zero. It was a bitter cold morning with a wind chill of nearly 20 degrees below zero as firefighters from Shenandoah, Frackville, and Mahanoy City were called to the 200 block of South Ferguson Street in Shenandoah around 7:30 this morning for a home fire.
When we arrived on scene, the first arriving unit, that's the apparatus I was driving, we pulled in to find a fully involved house fire, half a double, which ultimately consumed the other half a double. One of the structures was occupied, the other structure was an unoccupied structure. When we arrived, we got reports that there was possibly somebody inside the building, which soon after was confirmed that the occupant was accounted for and there was nobody inside the building.
In his nearly 9 years of being a firefighter, Reynes says this is the coldest temperatures he's fought a fire in that he can remember. At 10:30 this morning, firefighters were still putting out the flames, all while most of them were covered in ice. Reynes says upon arrival to a fire in these sub-zero temperatures, everything must be kept in check so it doesn't freeze.
The extreme cold temperatures, I was on my way home from work this morning. The temperature in my truck was -7. With the wind chill factor, -23, I believe. Any type of cold temperature like this, you have to worry about the pump freezing, the hose lines freezing, the hydrants freezing. The manpower-wise, you got to keep rotating them in and out to keep the guys warm, their gear freezing up and everything like that.
A rehab shelter was placed at the scene to provide them with the necessary items to keep emergency responders safe.
We get called to large-scale incidents such as this. What we do is provide nourishment, rehab for firefighters, any other emergency responders, assess vital signs, make sure these guys are in a good shape to go back out and get their job done.
There were no injuries reported in this morning's fire. The cause is still under investigation. A Hanover area teacher was charged with 2 counts of institutional sexual assault. 33-year-old Edward Evans turned himself in today at Judge Joseph Halasay's office. He was released on $20,000 unsecured bail. An 18-year-old male student claims that Evans had given him guidance at the school. They exchanged numbers and Evans picked him up on March 10th, where they then went to Evans' house. They talked about information on HIV and STDs. The student then claims that Evans made sexual advances towards him. A preliminary hearing is set for January 22nd. U.S. District Judge A. Richard Caputo ruled that former State Senator Ray Musto is not mentally competent to stand trial. Musto's trial was scheduled to start in federal court in Wilkes-Barre on Monday. A competency hearing was held yesterday where doctors testified on his worsening medical condition. Caputo ordered Musto into the custody of the U.S. Attorney General's office to take him to a treatment facility. He will remain there for up to 4 months and be further evaluated to see if he regains the capacity to stand trial. Judge Caputo denied the motion on Musto's physical health, but granted his motion in regards to his mental health. A Hazleton man has taken on the role as chairman for Luzerne County Council. Luzerne County Council held its swearing in and reorganizational meeting last night at the county courthouse. Newcomers Eileen Sorokis, Kathy Dobash, and re-elected incumbents Harry Haas, Linda McCloskey-Hauk, and Rick Williams were sworn in by President Judge Thomas Burke. Luzerne County Councilman and Hazleton native Rick Morelli was chosen by his peers to lead County Council as its chairman.
I took on this role because I have a lot of things that I feel we need to do and that we haven't been doing on the council level. So it's exciting, but a lot of work. As you know, the government's new, the new form of government. We're only 2 years in. But as I said last night, the honeymoon's over, and we really need to start showing the people that this new government's doing things. And so I'm taking on this role to really be more proactive and get more of the council members to be more proactive.
Morelli will be replacing Councilman Tim McGinley as chairman. The vote to elect Morelli was 6-5. Ed Berminski was selected as vice chair, also by a vote of 6-5.
Ed has a lot of experience with the government before as a commissioner and now on council. And again, we're on the same page. No one's always going to agree on everything. But I think that if you have a lot of people, if you have the same vision and the same philosophy of how to handle things, I think the one key thing that we both are in favor of is more accountability. I think that the executive branch had too much leeway to do what they want without answering to council. We're the watchdogs, and I think that the executive branch now is going to be having to answer more, get more information out to us, get out to the public so they know what's happening.
Morelli says there will definitely be changes this year, starting with how the meetings are ran.
Well, the goals are to make our meetings more efficient, to get more information out to the public, to council, so we're more prepared. And again, the long-term goals are really to really try to get some more economic development in Luzerne County. Like I said, it's not just now getting the government on the right track, but now getting the county in a place from a financial standpoint and more growth and getting those things done, and so that the people could see that this new government is what it's supposed to be.
With more transparency, Morelli says there will also be a new meeting structure.
We're going to have meetings every Tuesday. They're going to be more structured from a committee to a work session on the third Tuesday, and then the fourth Tuesday will be a voting meeting. So it's going to be a structured way where there's going to be a place where ideas will start and a place where ideas will finish. And I think it's just going to make it a lot more easier and better for everyone.
County Council will hold its next meeting Tuesday, January 14th at the Luzerne County Courthouse. A Wyoming man who suffered a gunshot wound from an accidental shooting has been charged with a drug offense. 31-year-old LaShawn Bergman drove himself to a hospital in New Jersey after the shooting at Sherman Hills apartment complex in Wilkes-Barre. City police received a call from Newark, New Jersey police on December 27th regarding Bergman. A search warrant was obtained for the apartment where illegal drugs were found. Bergman was charged with possession with intent to deliver. He was arraigned by Judge Martin Kane and jailed at the Luzerne County Prison for lack of $20,000 bail. Suspended Gilberton Police Chief Mark Kessler is suing the borough. He is seeking to prevent a hearing from being held January 24th in Scranton. He is asking the court to issue an injunction barring the borough from holding the hearing at the Lackawanna County Courthouse. The lawsuit alleges that the borough should not be allowed to hold the hearing in Lackawanna County because all the events have occurred in Schuylkill County. Kessler also states that he would have to pay extra legal expenses for the travel time and that holding the hearing in another county would be prejudice against him. The hearing on the petition has not been scheduled. A hearing is underway for former Penn State assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky. Sandusky appeared via video link today as testimony began. He is currently incarcerated at the prison in southwestern Pennsylvania. He described his career at Penn State and is trying to get back the retirement benefits he lost after his conviction. The state employees retirement system ruled that his convictions fell under Pennsylvania's Public Employee Pension Forfeiture Act. His attorney Charles Benjamin argued that Sandusky did not fit the definition of a school employee under the forfeiture law. It may take months before the hearing examiner produces his recommendation to the Retirement System Board. Over the Christmas holiday, a West Hazelton police officer responded to the scene of an incident in the borough. Upon entering the home, she learned that the mother and her 2 young children did not have heat, furniture, and were not going to have a Christmas. So with the help of borough officials, firefighters, and the rest of the police department, they purchased gifts and made a Christmas a reality. Now that Christmas is over, borough residents are continuing to help out the family into the new year.
We had furniture given to us from people in Drifton and Freeland and up the Heights, up to Stockton Mountain. We filled the house up with furniture. People donated fuel for the people, so they filled their tanks with fuel. We bought them a lot of food. People donated money, so we went out and bought them food. So they're pretty well set now. They have heat, they have food, they have furniture.
Mayor Schmidt says there are too many people to name that reached out to help, and along with the family, they are all thankful to everyone for their support. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Coming up next, Beth Mensinger is back with more sports here on Late Edition. But first, let's head back outside to Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center. Joe, I'm sorry, but we sent you back outside again.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to coming back in, I might add, because it's just downright cold across our area. We still have those wind chill warnings in effect for all of our viewing area, at least most of our viewing area. And we also have those wind chill advisories in effect. We can take a look at the graphic and you can see for yourself that they continue to be in effect right through tonight into tomorrow morning. Complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazleton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
What do you see? Perhaps you're noticing the rusted fender or the dented side panel. Maybe the first thing your eye goes to is the worn interior. But look closer and you'll see something else. Value. At Harry's U-Pull-It, we see value in your old car and so will others. It's the reason we offer top dollar for your car. Junker, clunker, piece of tin, your car may have many names, but at Harry's, there's only one that matters. Value. Visit one of our 3 locations today in Hazleton, Pennsburg, and Allentown.
At Cuck's Turkey Farm, we are family owned and operated for over 45 years, and we consistently strive to produce premium poultry. We offer the finest all-natural country poultry, antibiotic-free, all vegetarian fed with superior white meat yield and exceptional flavor. So we invite you to experience the unique natural taste of our poultry for your enjoyment and your health. Give us a call or stop in today.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be entitled to disability benefits through Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right if you suffer from a physical or mental disability. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. You'll be matched up with an advocate who will evaluate your situation, handle your application, and deal with Social Security for you. And best of all, there's no fee until you receive benefits. Call today.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
It's exactly 1 month until the 2014 Winter Olympics, and after a few weeks of speculation, Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn will not be competing in Sochi next month. A big blow to the U.S. women's skiing team. Vonn injured her knee at the World Championships last February in a high-speed crash. She rehabbed, then was back on the slopes in mid-November when she partially tore a ligament in the same knee. On the Olympian's Facebook, she posted a status saying she was devastated about the decision, but Vonn will go under the knife again to repair those ligaments, and she's expected to be back at the 2015 World Championships in Colorado. Vonn was a gold medalist 4 years ago and holds the American record of 4 overall World Cup championships. Today, Dennis Rodman and several other former NBA players were in North Korea, helping young players prepare for an upcoming exhibition basketball game in the country's capital city. When questioned by the media about his trip today after practice, Rodman defended the trip and his ties with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
So we come back to America, please, do one thing. Don't give us negativity. Just shake our hand because we try to do something very nice. That is it, guys. We're not trying to sit here try to control things. No, we're just going to do something very nice.
The list of players joining Rodman include 14-year veteran point guard Kenny Anderson, who raked up over 10,000 points in the league, 4-time All-Star Vin Baker, Cliff Robinson, who was the 6th man of the year in '93, and also made the All-Star team in '93 and '94. Heading to tonight's national scoreboard in NBA action, first up, the Sixers. They fell to the Cavs 111-93. It's the Wizards topping the Bobcats, and the Pacers win 86-79. Heat blow out the Pelicans, and it's the Bulls 92, the Suns 87. In overtime right now, Spurs leading by 2 over the Grizzlies. In the fourth, Dallas has the 107-95 lead on the Lakers. Boston nearly trailing the Nuggets by 30 right now. Thunder behind the Jazz 85-65 in the third. And in the first, the Trailblazers lead the Kings. In the NHL, Bullies win over the Devils in OT 3-2. The Pens have the 1-zip lead on the Canucks. And the Maple Leafs fell to the Isles 5-3. Nashville one-ups the Sharks 3-2. In the third, the Jets are trailing Tampa Bay, and Phoenix is shutting out Calgary. Blues leading the Oilers in the second, and it's scoreless in both of the following games between Minnesota and LA and Boston and Anaheim. And the Sabres game in Buffalo, that one canceled tonight, well, postponed due to the sub-zero temperatures. Joe has more about those sub-zero temperatures. He's coming back next.
Now, Hazel Park Spring Water is proud to announce that they are the official water of the WILN Sports Crew and available for home delivery through J.W. Wargo Spring Water Delivery and JoJo's Beverage. Since 1915, the Kreisel family has been serving the area with quality meats. The tradition continues today with 5 generations at Hazel Park Quality Meats, 260 Washington Avenue, West Hazelton, and Redding Specialty Meats, located at 216 East 4th Street in Berwick. Here are some of this week's specials.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Why should you choose Penn State Hazleton?
We have new scholarship money.
There's no application fee.
When you visit campus.
Opportunities to do research. Students are scoring internships
All over the country.
You can start here and finish here.
Or at another Penn State campus. We have fun.
We have the Lion.
Penn State is ranked #1 by corporate recruiters.
We have the largest alumni network
In the world.
It's your time.
Penn State.
Penn State lives here.
Check us out at psu.edu/visithazelton.
Let me tell you some of the reasons people get into trouble with credit cards. A job loss or salary cut, an unexpected expense. Consolidated Credit helped over 5 million people just like you. We can reduce your interest rates, cut your monthly payments, and help you get out of debt fast. The time to call Consolidated Credit is now. When debt is the problem, we are the solution.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Call 800-910-0809. That's 800-910-0809.
Wouldn't it be great if everything in life were fast? Fast, like a cable modem.
Call Service Electric now and get the fastest internet in town. Plus, when you sign up today, you'll also get free installation. Experience the blazing speed of Service Electric high-speed internet service. Your internet will never be the same.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Cloud, host of The Storm right here on WYLN TV. The show's called The Storm for good reason. Each week I tackle important and often controversial issues. I enjoy stirring the pot and getting people to think. And I have no problem asking the tough questions, putting elected officials on notice and demanding you get the answers you deserve. So tune in each week to The Storm only on WYLN TV.
Well, we continue to have those wind chill warnings in effect. We also have those wind chill advisories in effect for our viewing area through tonight. And as we head into the early morning hours of tomorrow, we're going to be looking at wind chill values between -10, -15, -20, 25, below zero or more. So again, you really got to bundle up and be careful if you have to do anything outdoors across our region. And you know what? It's just going to continue to be cold again through tomorrow. And then after tomorrow, well, we're going to see a little bit of a warm-up in store for our area. But we go back to 1996. It was known as the blizzard of 1996, January 6th through the 9th. And many areas receiving anywhere between 20 to as much as 30 inches of snow. 2 degrees right now, but what really should matter is what the wind chill is. It's feeling like it's about -29 degrees below zero. That just tells you just how dangerously cold it is. -1 in Mount Pocono, 2 at the Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport, 4 in Williamsport, 5 in Selinsgrove. It is 3 in State College, -2 in Johnstown, and 2 degrees in Pittsburgh. Up in the Wyoming Valley area, temperatures in the single digits. Only 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Satellite and radar, nothing to show you. We are dry, clear to mostly clear skies, and that's going to be the case as we head through the overnight hours. Notice these wind chill values once again tonight. -10, -15, -20 below zero. Early tomorrow morning, very, very cold out there, and eventually these numbers will subside a little bit as we start going into our Thursday. Won't be nearly as brisk. Won't be quite as harsh tomorrow as we progress through the day, but it's still going to be very cold out there with those cold and dangerously cold wind chills, feeling like it's -10 to -20 plus degrees below zero as we head through tonight and as we head through tomorrow morning. And then a warm-up in store for our area later this week, the polar vortex. It's causing all the cold air making its way toward the north, and that will allow the nice warm-up in store for our area by the weekend. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric. So here's what we can expect over the next several days. Still got cold conditions for tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. We get to about the freezing point. Saturday in the 40s, about 42, maybe some rain around, and then mild for Sunday and Monday. We get up into the 40s, and then I think we drop back into the 30s for Tuesday. But again, this will be the last day of the extreme cold weather, and then after that, it gets a little bit milder.
Last day of the extreme cold is 15 degrees.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not sub-zero.
No, that's what I'm saying.
22 below wind chill.
Well,
Yeah, it is pretty rough outside, but we did send them out twice, so.
That's plenty. I still have to go out a third time to get back home.
You do. All right. Breaking news out of Kingston, a man with a gun robbed Aldi's grocery store on Pierce Street just after 7 o'clock tonight. And of course, we will have details for you tomorrow on Topic A at 5:30 and Late Edition at 10 o'clock. We'll send a crew up there, and hopefully we'll get some pictures from police and a description for you to get the information and hopefully capture that suspect. All right, well, that's it for the news tonight.
That's all we got.
Hopefully those temperatures
It'll
rise
be better
a
by
lot.
tomorrow. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. The team will be back tomorrow. Topic A, 5:30, Late Edition at 10. Have a warm and nice night.